Welcome back to Rig Rundown. My name is Tyler Church. This week we're going to be looking at engine 21. This is our newest rig that we have in our fleet. We also have a sister engine like this out at Station 22. Let's take a look in the cab. Here we got our heads-up display. This is how we turn on our lights. Also turn on our scene lights. Really light up the scene when we get there. Helps us so we don't trip and see exactly what we're doing. We got our radios. Here's where we turn on a siren. This is also how you put the pump into gear so you can actually pump water to the hoses. All right, so in the back, we got our two seats. It's got the air packs in there so we can get ready on our way to a fire. Also in a compartment in there. We got some gloves in case we go on an EMS call, and a medical bag. So this here's our pump panel. This engine can hold 1750 gallons of water and also pumps 1758 gallons per minute. So really important that we get hydrants and get water coming in. We got our different size hoses. Bigger the hose, bigger the fire, more water. All of these levers here, each one controls a different hose that we can connect. Hoses can also go here and here, and this is where our 5-inch comes in from our hydrant water. This here is what we call our engineer's compartment. You got little short sections of hose just in case you need to reach a little bit further. We got wheel chocks. We always put wheel chocks in to prevent it from rolling. Some fittings here just in case we need a double male, double female adapter, rubber mallet, chimney bums, and some caution tape. In this compartment, we got air packs. I don't know if you noticed up front, the driver's seat doesn't actually have an air pack in it, so if he needs to go into a fire, he grabs one of these two. Couple extra tools. This here is what we call our marriage. It's what we help use to force entry into a house. You'll see later we got some more tools on the other side. We got lots of tools on here. All these things you may notice on the side actually holds air bottles. So each one of those packs, they're 45-minute bottles. Don't usually last 45 minutes, but those switch out so we can go back into a fire. You'll notice on the other side too, we got them. This here is more of our extrication compartment here. We got our cutters and spreaders. A lot of people know them as jaws of life. That's if we have to really cut somebody out of a car. So here's our spreaders here. They come open, and these ones are our cutters here that actually close down. The name kind of gives it away. This is our extrication bucket. We got all sorts of tools in here, sawzall, earmuffs, some little things, some blades here, screwdrivers. Up here we got our decon bucket. With firefighting causing a lot of cancer, we always decon everybody, get all the gross decon off of them while we're at a fire to try to help prevent cancer. A tool bag with stuff for our struts here. These are our struts that we help stabilize a car, maybe on its side, might have rolled down a hill, something like that. So those help stabilize that car so it makes it safe for us to go inside. You come around back here, this is where all of our bigger hose is. So comparable to the hose on the side of the rig there. We got all of our bigger hose, so your hydrant's not always next to you. So we got a lot of hose here to connect to a hydrant, drive off, and then that gives us a supply to where the fire actually is. Some of these are longer loads, just in case our hand lines on the side there that you saw aren't going to reach. We got an 1 3/4 bundle connected to this 2.5. Gives us large water through like maybe an apartment complex or something like that we can't necessarily bring the engine right to it. Over here, we got our ladders. So we got a roof ladder. If we need to go on the roof, cut a hole in it, vent it, extension ladder to get up higher areas, and some tools here to help pull ceiling. We got a pike pull, and we got our New York hook. So those are really useful at pulling ceiling down and make sure you get any extension up into the ceiling. Last compartment here on the back. We got a cooler because it's always important to hydrate. We got our hydrant bag. So located right next to our 5-inch that you saw up above, we got a bunch of different tools. So we got a hydrant wrench that actually opens up the hydrant. Some more fittings in case you need to have it right there at the hydrant. This usually stays at the hydrant as the engine drives off, so the person staying there has all the tools that they need. Let's move to the officer's side of the engine. So in here, we've got a roof saw to help vent the roof if we need to. Our circ saw there, that's more for like metals, opening up a car hood that we can't get into, maybe a garage door, something a little more heavy duty that you shouldn't necessarily use a chainsaw on. Here's our positive pressure van. This is a newer one to us. It's battery powered, which is super nice. We don't have to run extension cords or run fuel on it. So kind of helps eliminate getting that fuel inside or that exhaust inside the house as we're trying to clear it out. This is a water can. It's one of our 2 fire extinguishers that we carry on here. It's water and soap and air. Pretty simple. It's amazing what it can do sometimes. So, and this one behind it is our classic ABC extinguisher. It's the one you typically see in businesses and other places like that. It's the most versatile. As I showed you on the other side, these are also spare bottles. A lot of the fires we go through, all of them. Every rig typically has them. That is a fire apparatus. So here's more tools. This is located on the other side of where the tools were. We got our marriage here again with a wedge, pry bar, master key is what we call it. It's to cut off deadbolts.
Can you explain a wedge?
A wedge. So when we're forced in the door, it's just a door stop more or less. So when we force the door, a lot of times we'll throw that in to help keep that separation of the door as we're working through it. So up here, last thing is our piercing nozzle. If we got a basement fire and we want to pierce through or through a wall, it's got a sharp pointed edge on the other side. We connect that to our hose and we turn it on and spray water in that other room. This here is our through the lock kit. So I'm not going to show you everything in here, but if it's a situation where we don't want to necessarily break the door, this is the kit that we use to try to help get through the lock without causing more harm. Last compartment on this side, also with our fan. If it does run out of batteries and we don't have any more available, we do have the option to connect it to a generator. So we keep this generator on here with an extension cord. Also on this engine, I haven't explained it yet, but you'll find a lot of these. These are called spanner wrenches. So these are Stort spanners. We have 2 different connectors on here. This is for most of our stuff. It's to help if you have a tight fit or if you want to make it tighter. It's a wrench. So the Stort spanners, you mostly use those on the 5-inch. The 5-inch has more of a quick connect instead of the traditional spin, spin, spin. This here's our RIT pack. So we'll take a look inside of here. So if a firefighter goes down in a building and they need help, we'll send in the RIT team typically. They take this in with them. It's got an extra mask here, just in case they need it. Maybe their mask broke, or we have the option of having them hold their breath while inside and switching it out completely. Also inside, we got a bottle. So this is an hour bottle, a little bit bigger. I don't know if you remember me saying the ones we typically have are 45. It's a little bit heavier, so we carry the 45. They're not as heavy, not as much strain on your back. But same sort of thing. It's connected to this long hose. So if we do decide that that person's out of air, we could take this off and put it in their mask that they're already wearing. With the person, if they're not able to go out on their own, we carry this alongside with us, along with our person. So above here, we got a RIT bag. So we carry that along with us. It helps us kind of find our way out if we happen to get disoriented. We can leave this in a spot that we know, maybe the front door, maybe the hose. If we need to go out and get somebody, we carry that with us also. You're never going to be alone when you're going to rescue somebody. RIT teams are usually a full engine crew, maybe 4, maybe 2. It all kind of depends on what we have for personnel at the time. All right, so this is the other side of the pump panel. As you can see, we got our hoses up there again. Another tool is what we call a rubbish hook, garbage hook. There's lots of names for it. Say if we got a hydrant on this side, we could connect here. It's the same thing on the other side, goes into the pump panel. Or if we want to send a 5-inch to another engine, relay pump in, or just supplying water, this actually goes out to them. So this is only an in, and this is only an out. So we already looked inside here. If you want to take another look again, just got those air packs. This here on the seat is a gas monitor. If we get any gas leaks, anything like that, we take that in. I'll pull it out real quick and show you. So pretty simple, just a 4-gas monitor. Anybody can use it, but they may not know what it means when it gives you alarms. So we're trained on that to know if we need to evacuate. Something I didn't show you, inside the back of these rigs, there is headphones. You can see it hanging up on the wall there. Every seat has one. So if you look around, you can see every seat's got one. It's so when we're driving to a scene and we got the lights and sirens going, we can all hear each other. So I'll jump up in here, show you a few more things that we got. This here is our thermal imaging camera, also known as a TIC. This helps us see heat inside of a building. Also allows us to see a little bit better maybe where personnel are, like that RIT team goes in. A lot of times they should take a TIC so that they could see heat where that firefighter is down. It helps them guide around, because when you're in a smoking building, you probably heard the saying, you can't see your hand in front of your face, but it's true. Inside of a fire, a lot of times you can't see anything. So it's just infrared. You can see if I put my hand in front there, it tells you how warm it is. Also, when we're clearing out a building, we can look to see where some of the hot spots are. If it's not on fire, we could still see it's hundreds of degrees here, and the other spots are cool. So we kind of focus where the heat is. Here, I'm sure if you've watched some of our other ones, this is our RIM system, all of our dispatch, everything like that. We can dispatch ourselves on here, get on scene. A lot of times when we get a fire call, there's a lot of radio traffic, so you can't get through the radio. What's nice about this is you can just put yourself on scene and go to work. So, and just like in the back, we got our headsets. With these headsets, you can talk and listen. The ones in the back, you got to push the button to actually talk. But this one specifically, if you push the button, it goes broadcast over the radio. So, I told you we got hose everywhere. We got hose in the back, on the side. We also got this is called our bumper load. We use this a lot of times if we can nose in and it's more of a quick attack, such as a garbage fire or a dumpster fire, something like that. All right, so up top, we got more stuff. This is our master stream. This can also detach, and we got a base here for it. So if we pull up on scene and we want water fast and we're not worried about necessarily a water supply, we can come up here and start shooting water out of this. It's going to be our biggest water. It's a straight stream, so we get a lot of water real quick. On the opposite side, we got our booster reel here. If we want to put out little fire, this is not much bigger than your typical garden hose. We do get more than that, but this is more of a putting out burn complaints or cleaning up little stuff towards the end of a fire. We got some kitty litter here. This is for car accidents. We may get fuel leaks. We may get other fluids on the ground, so we put this down to help absorb it. If it's too big of a spill, we call our hazmat team. So they'll come out and they'll take care of the problem. Thanks for joining us again this episode of Rig Rundown. We'll see you next time.